What's up? Andrew here with Astro Trends. If you're new to the channel, what we do here is we combine astrological forecasting with traditional trend analysis to speculate on price movements in crypto and stock markets. So we're doing a little Bitcoin update here right now. If you caught our update last night, pretty much played out exactly as we had talked about. We had dipped here and we were dipping again. Drop my lines in, it's going to look a little messy. Well, we were looking for another bottom here. We thought maybe it would just be this double bottom pattern here, which ended up playing out. We were looking for possible support down here before a nice bounce, indicated by both the trend analysis and the astrology that we might get a pretty decent pump here. And we did end up breaking through some significant resistances, moving averages. Well, we're actually at a major resistance, the upper end of our channel here that we've been moving through since the last month's dump. But pretty significant move through both the 9 and 20 moving average, and we're on our way to testing this 50 moving average, which my best guess is that we won't be punching through, though. Pushing through this moving average and staying above it would mean there would be a good indicator for the possibility of the continuation of the bull market. So, but we'll talk more about that in future updates. In the short term here, let's take a look at the pump that we got last night that is pretty much sustained all day. It's looking very strong. The fact that we didn't even come down and touch this 50 period moving average, 15-minute chart here, so it's the 50 on the 15, but still pretty significant. Usually when you get a pump this strong, this fast, you come down. Even if you're going to continue, you come down and bounce off of this 50 down here. But let's drop in some Elliott waves, kind of chart out what this looks like. So we got our first impulsive wave, corrective wave, impulsive wave, corrective wave, that final impulsive wave. So we're fully extended here. Then we get our ABC correction. Usually A, you get a drop back, B, another little pump, like a failed second. Usually it doesn't, or it often doesn't pass the initial high. And then your C part of the formation usually comes down further than the A. So that hasn't really played out entirely here. And you know, this doesn't have to happen. You can get like a symmetrical formation, kind of a little double bottom. But I was really expecting to at least see it fall down to here and then maybe continue on. Having been so strong, it's really exciting. Bitcoin's movements lately tend to snowball. You know, you get like a pump up and it ends up being a big pump. You get a movement down, people start dumping. But yeah, wouldn't be surprised at this point to see it continue on or to see it come back down. My most likely call here, and we'll get into the astrology, see what that's saying. But just the way these things tend to play out, I wouldn't be surprised to see us come down, retest the 20 there before moving onward. Also, though, the price movement was so strong, and it is a Sunday. Tomorrow we'll have full volume, trading volume, we'll have a lot more people. May just push on from here. But either case, I do expect us to touch this 50 up here, 50-day moving average. That I feel with a higher degree of certainty, not financial advice. Where we go from there is much more difficult to speculate on. That gets into the very question of whether we'll be in a bull market continuation or if we're headed into the bear market, which I think we are, though. Fundamentally, things are so different with the widespread adoption, institutional adoption. I don't know what that means for the Bitcoin's past bull market cycles. I think that could signal a significant deviation from what we might expect. not that a continuation here would be totally outside the realm of what we'd expect. We've seen false tops before. This could be our false top or double top, something like that. But let's jump into the astrology and look at our indications here. So last night's pump that we forecasted came from the moon's opposition to Jupiter 12 hours ago or so, and that coincided with a Venus-Sun opposition. So that's a good price action there. Looking into the future, we have like a day and a half maybe, Moon opposite Venus, just another similar transit that won't coincide with the exact opposition of the Venus to the Sun. Though it's still in the ballpark. It's separating, but they're still technically in contact here. So I think that may be the next big move we see, probably up into that 50 moving average at around 42. So let's see. Let's drop a line in just to get an idea of what that'll look like. So that's coming in. Might start seeing action from that around 24 degrees. So maybe the 15th, Tuesday, at around 1 p.m. So that's a lot of time for us to have some corrective movement back down, some retracing. That's the most likely thing I expect. Though the fact that it's stayed up here all day may just be we had increased volume here for Sunday, but I'd be surprised to see it just push on from here, though it does happen with Bitcoin. It makes big moves up. But I think it's more like, even if it comes up a little bit more, I think we'll see some retracement before maybe another pump by Wednesday or by Tuesday, get us up to that 42 target. So that's pretty much it for the short term. There's some other mixed signals here. We have Mars opposite Jupiter and Mercury. Very mixed. Mars brings, volatility, but also a lot of intensity and energy to the contacts it's making. So today we saw Musk talk about Tesla's, or try to clear up Tesla's position on accepting Bitcoin. He reiterated that they would be accepting Bitcoin again when he sees the proper amount of green energy adoption from Bitcoin miners. A lot of the responses he got were, emphasizing the fact that Bitcoin is already relatively green, especially in comparison to other assets, other companies like Musk's own companies, SpaceX and Tesla, as well as the global energy usage, the energy usage of individual countries. Bitcoin actually does a relatively good job at using green energy. Miners like using green energy because they like using hydroelectricity, because it's continuous, it's reliable. But Mars, so people, I guess, took that as a good signal today. The price moved up, or at least it didn't hurt it. But Mars could bring negative news as well, or just news that is unclear. And at the moment, the position is not, or the contact is not exact, and it's still approaching, so its intensity still has the potential to go up. So we'll see how that plays out over the next day or two. Let's get a time frame on that. So here's where we are now. We're at around 1 degree, and natal Mercury is at 2 degrees 40 minutes. So we're going to see another 2 days of probably inordinate or higher than usual discussion, media coverage around Bitcoin. May be good or bad, probably mixed overall. Other than that, not a lot significant going. We have some big indicators coming up. This Venus opposite Sun ended up being a good indicator for the price moving up, or good influence or correlation to the price moving up. And over the next 11 days here, it's going to close in on an opposition to Jupiter and Mercury, where Mars is now. That looks like a good indicator, normally be a great indicator, but it happens to coincide with the full moon, which is usually an indication of the bottom or a local bottom. So we'll look at that as those dates get closer. Generally, what I think the way this may play out over the next 11 days is we'll see Bitcoin move up to that 50 moving average, and then probably bounce down off of it. And as the market condition is the way it is at the moment, when we see Bitcoin make a move up, we see lots of people come in. The price tends to snowball as it is right now. Price moves up, it continues to move up, price moves down. If we see a bounce off of the 50, I think we could see a quick sell-off, like a fast little dip. I'm not saying like a huge dump, but once that's rejected, I think that'll be an obvious enough indicator to so many traders. There'll be a pretty intense move downward, and then maybe another like a big bounce off of that downward movement, maybe all the way back up to the 50 again, or maybe poke over it, just because these indicators are so good and powerful and mixed. So, quick down and up. Not financial advice, obviously, but if you found this video helpful or enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Give us a comment down below what other assets you might like to see, and stay tuned for more Bitcoin updates. We're also covering GameStop, AMC, and I want to cover some other stocks that I've been looking at, trading in. So keep an eye out for those.